Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Tim Braden, Second Legacy. You are amazing. And who is in the mood for some freaking out lefties? Oh, man. So good rule of thumb, guys. When they start basically assaulting you verbally, they're scared. We're going to walk you through some stuff around the pending election. We covered some yesterday, but this stuff is just getting too unreal. And I can't wait to hear what you guys think in the comments field below. We've got MSDNC. We've got Joy Reid. We've got Joe Scarborough. We've got all the goodies. And then we have a little bit of reality right behind it. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. Tim, it's not a good day if you don't like Trump. It's not a good time.
No.
It's not a good time.
Do we really have to sit through the insufferable morning, Joe?
We do. And you know what? I thought you were going to be concerned about doing one clip, so I did two. Yeah,
oh.
I know. Got you good. So
this is a better diuretic than coffee.
Oh, absolutely. It might
gonna make me go poo.
It could also make you vomit.
Yeah, that's true.
So the tide is changing on a trend line, right? I'm not telling you who's going to win, not saying who's not going to win. I'm just saying on a trend line, you can tell the momentum and the energy is going in one direction, not only by observing what's happening, but you can also see the opponent. In this case, Kamala Harris is doing a full court press, like full throttle. We talked about yesterday. We got a doom loop situation going on. But now the media acolytes are coming out, and I want to show you, Tim, something that Joe Scarborough just said. And you tell me, overall, is this reality or is this copium? Let's play that first one, Doctor.
You look at the national polls, they are all breaking in her direction. NBC tied, but as I said, CBS and ABC +3. The TIP national tracking poll, which was the most accurate poll in 2020, had Harris +3. That lead this morning goes to +4 in the TIP national poll. The Marist poll +5 right now. Again, this is going to be a very close race. We're not going to know who's winning to the very end. But when you start seeing numbers, real numbers, like what's going on in Georgia, suddenly you feel like telling Democrats that are bitching and moaning about what the Harris campaign's doing, hey, calm down. You know what? Victory is in sight in less than 3 weeks. If you go out, work hard, and do your job. The opponent is imploding, and Harris is doing better than ever.
Yeah, you talk to both campaigns, and people inside both acknowledge this race is very, very tight. The Trump side then says, well, we're going to win. The Harris side says, well, we're going to keep working hard. I think it's instructive to look at just these last couple of days here. You know, Trump has this bizarre moment where he's dancing and swaying on stage. I will say, of all the conversation about on this show, we talk about how there should be more focus on Trump's mental acuity and his fitness for the office. This moment seems to have broken through wider in the mainstream.
That was it, Tim. Wow. That was it. They figured it out.
Yeah.
Just had to have him breaking.
First of all, Trump's dancing and swaying. There's a medical emergency in the audience, and he stopped his rally so the EMTs could help the person that was dying. You idiots! I know. And then you go back to what Joe was talking about, the incompetent idiot that he is. Yeah, let's say that the polls are showing Harris with a national lead of 3 points. Cool. Two things. They oversample Democrats. That's historically known. It's a fact. And secondly, it's a national poll. If our elections were held the way the Democrats want them to be held with a simple majority, then that might actually have some relevance. But they have to contend with this little thing called the Electoral College. And that's why he delved into, well, if we look at what's going on in Georgia, quit panicking. Because she's losing the swing states.
Correct. And the other thing about that poll that they're referencing that they're not going to tell you, you realize that in that Marist poll where, she's winning, Trump's imploding. Trump is winning in that poll, the independents, by 10 points. Just so you guys know, if you don't pay attention to polls, you don't pay attention to elections, that's not your thing, fine, I get it. Whoever has independents by like 2 or 3 points always wins the election. Trump has it by 10, and they're going, yep, clearly Harris is winning by 5. Yep. What the...
But let them keep doing that because that just suppresses their own turnout, right?
Oh, I'm down.
I'm all for
it.
You know, and I think it's hysterical that they keep doing this. And so, but it does keep voters and the same thing on the conservative side, right? When people go out there and say Trump's got this in the bag, then people go, I don't have to vote. He's got this in the bag. Yeah, so you have to be very careful with these things. The polls don't tell you what's really going to happen. They not only oversample, but if you take a look at the thing being at the national polls and disregard the whole thing about the Electoral College, that's still within the margin of error. And and Trump is doing better in 2024 than he was doing in 2020.
Yep, we got that coming up here in 1 second.
Okay, so they are in trouble, and that's why you see people like JoJo on X freaking out and using the F word every other word.
2 seconds, yep.
They start freaking out. They're all doing it. They're getting so mad that they're losing. They keep dropping the F-bombs in social media. You go back 3 weeks ago, they were so confident that Harris was just in this incredible momentum swing of sweeping the White House and taking all 50 states, 57 if you're Obama. Then they have gone from that to this joyous glee of like, we got this in the bag, to now where they're at, where Joe's making excuses and they're all freaking out,
which is depression, right?
This is copium that you were talking about, and this is what it looks like. That's why he's freaking out. Copium. This is why. Yep, that's why Mars freaking out. That's why JoJo and Brooklyn Dad and the Krassicine sisters, they're all freaking out because they're doing horribly 100%. In the swing states.
But Tim, you heard him though. Like this guy's so credible. Trump's campaign is imploding. It's gone. It's done. They're not.
It is. It's blowing up.
It's blowing up.
It's over.
Believe it. It's just over. Believe it.
Please don't panic.
Yeah, but he's never been wrong before. In fact, look at this clip right before they yeeted Biden straight out the space capsule. Look at this clip right here of the same guy.
Start your tape right now, because I'm about to tell you the truth. And F you if you can't handle the truth. This version of Biden, intellectually, analytically, is the best Biden ever. Not a close second. I've known him for years. The Brzezinskis have known him for 50 years. If it weren't the truth, I wouldn't say it.
Thank God. I'm glad you're here.
And weeks later, he's pushed out the door.
Not even weeks, best dude. Biden. That was like days. The
best Biden. We're going to put him on Mount Rushmore. Now get out. Go. Go on.
Yeah, this guy's analytical prowess is just off the charts. He's not paid for at all.
There he is with the FU. This is like what I'm talking about with JoJo and the other paid propagandists on social media. They're freaking out when they start cussing on national television and they start they're freaking out. They're telling you, I'm scared. They're children, folks.
They're exactly right.
Absolute children. And they act, and if you have a 10-year-old at home, just compare their behavior to the Democrats right now.
It's very, very similar. In fact, when talking about freaking out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you're dead right. But talk about freaking out. Look what Joy Reid had to say about African Americans.
Oh, no.
Have you noticed how sharply the polls have shifted in Trump's favor over the last couple weeks? With these claims that Trump is surging with Black and Latino voters and leading in every single swing state, according to secret internal polls, despite all the Hitler talk. Yes, this race will be far too close because, unfortunately, we do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men, let's be clear, but in small pockets among Black and brown men, too. This happens to be a global phenomenon as women become more economically independent and seek positions of power.
So, Dave, did you know that there's a white supremacy and fascism inside the African American and the Latino community? It's weird.
I know. Look, commies have been doing this forever. Like there are no fascists, right? What they're calling fascism is just another word for racist. They think everybody's racist. 100%. That's a conservative. But racist doesn't have the same bite anymore because they continuously misuse it. So now racist is morphed into fascist. But fascism is an economic policy. It isn't. If you compare Hitler's Germany to Mussolini's Italy, they were both fascist states. Hitler went way down the rabbit hole of racism and extermination. Mussolini, not so much. He didn't want anything to do with that.
He went nationalism, heavy nationalism.
But fascism is an economic policy and a structure of an economy. It's not racism. They're making it all about racism, right?
100%.
And so, but that's an important point because fascism is something communists have always hated. So it only makes sense that the commies are saying, well, these fascists have to be stopped. Do you understand that the Stasi and East Germany during the Cold War, their whole pretense for killing people and locking people up and torturing people was because they were going after fascists, folks. And in their mind, that was a capitalist. So fascist was right. So they're not going after fascists in East Germany during the Cold War. They're going after capitalists and people that just wanted to be free. Okay.
No, that's
not fascism.
Correct.
And so now we have the commies doing the exact same thing here. They're playing the Stasi here. They're doing lawfare here, just like in communist states elsewhere. That's what they're doing here, folks. And it's so transparent that every time these commies throw around Marxist or throw around the term fascism, it just cracks me up because they always like to say, yeah, well, you don't know what communism is. Oh yeah, sweetheart, I do. I actually do.
Yeah, and, we do actually. We do.
It's pretty simple to define.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah. So now let's just kind of do a little brief history where we've been in the last 10 minutes together. Joe Scarborough, don't worry. Trump's campaign is imploding. It's over. Kamala Harris on the road to victory. Just do the work and trust him. Oh my goodness gracious. What is this? Is this a Polymarket forecast? Trump, all 7 of them, and hold on, Polymarket is literally just a betting. This is based on perception and betting. It's not polling. It's not the end result, but it is an observational data point. Trump is winning in all 7 swing states on Polymarket, and the overall national polling or national Polymarket for Trump or Kamala, who's going to win, it's 60-40. I mean, does that seem like implosion to you?
Yeah, and get this, so it's not the only one. There was another political gambling market called Cali or something like that, Kali or something.
I haven't seen that one.
They too have Trump almost the exact same numbers. I think they had him at like 57% or something like that. And what's important about this, folks, is even though these numbers aren't directly based on polling data, they still are, right? Because these are betting people putting real money out there. These people are literally going through the polls. They're going through all the public appearances. They're going through everything that they possibly can to make an informed bet, because real money is on the line. That's why you see all these Polymarket things popping up. Because the polls through my entire life have had every single campaign neck and neck, including when Mondale lost 49 states to Reagan.
It was so close, though. It was going to be a close election.
Right.
Oh, so close.
They're a joke. They're improperly weighted. They just randomly call people. They call them scientific, but just calling some rando on the phone isn't very scientific in my mind. And people tend to hide their actual voting intentions, especially when dealing with Trump. So you can't trust the polls. But what I would give a little bit more credence to, I wouldn't say I would bet on a winning a losing election based on Polymarket stats, but this seems to be a little bit more telling as to what's really going on politically because of the money that's on the line and the people doing the research.
I completely agree. The when you and this is all, guys, we're doing this video all to show you a bunch of different data points that all kind of point to the same direction. When you got Joe Scarborough lying flat to your face and screaming what's not true when he's got a history of doing it, when you got Joy Reid calling African Americans and Latinos fascist and white supremacist and attacking them directly, that is not a sign of someone winning. No. Because if she was winning and felt like they were winning, she'd be saying something like, we're going to win and women are going to take this to the bank because women are now getting rid of all the fascism. Because that's not what she's doing. She's literally laying the groundwork for 4 years of being real pissed all the time. But now, take the Polymarket. Now look at the next one. This is where, and Tim mentioned this prior, this is where Trump is in relation to his 2020 polling performances across all the swing states. So I'm not saying that he's going to win 100%. It was completely reliant on you guys voting. But when you look at the data points of where he was in 2020 in the polls, and he lost by 40,000 votes nationally in a nation of 390 million people, and where he is now, nationally, Trump is 7.4% better than he was in 2020. 7.4, that's nationally. If you go to Pennsylvania, plus 5.9, Michigan, 8.2, Wisconsin, plus 6, North Carolina, plus 4, Arizona, plus 5, Georgia, plus 2. Guys, that's a big piece of the puzzle. That's all I'm going to tell you. They're freaking out for a reason, and you're seeing where he was in 2020, where he is now. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but this is all important to note.
Yep. Just saying. They wouldn't be freaking out on national television and calling everybody names and Scarborough telling you F you and all this other stuff.
Of course, crying that's going back a bit national TV.
Yeah, this is all very indicative of the fact that they know that Harris is in trouble. Now, this doesn't mean that you can just sit home and not vote. We have to vote like we're 20 points behind, folks. You got to. I mean, this has been said before, and it's worth saying again. When you go vote, get a family member, get a friend, make it an afternoon event. Go vote together. Get 10 people together. Go vote and have lunch afterwards. Right?
Take snacks.
But turn out the vote. Right? Go do it. Don't sit this one out, folks, especially if you're a gun owner. I can guarantee you if Harris gets into the White House and they get the House and the Senate, the only thing left as a firewall is the Supreme Court, but that won't stop them from passing laws that could put you in jail before the Supreme Court. Here's the case 2 years later.
And the filibuster, which they'll try to kill first.
Right. And the Electoral College and everything else to make sure that they have a one-party state for the rest of your life. So vote like there's no tomorrow, because if you don't, there will be no tomorrow. All right.
It's good times.
Are we done?
Oh, yeah. No, I thought that was a pretty good summation. Freaking out, lying, accusations, reality. I feel like it was a complete little crumpet of delicious.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, you almost feel sorry for Harris. Not. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon.